No fair, Grandmama.
All right, y'all, look here. Sweet and spicy pecans, roasted pecans. Now, let me tell you, just a little bit of heat, just a little bit of stevia, some pecan pantry pecans,
How about cinnamon?
cinnamon,
Mm.
sweet preacher. I'm telling y'all,
25 minutes?
25 minutes. Y'all are going to want to make these.
Welcome to a channel that puts delicious back into healthy food every day for you.
Good afternoon. I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry. And I'm cracking an egg, y'all. But I bet you can't figure out what I'm going to do with it. I'm not going to use the yolk. I'm only going to use the egg white. Y'all look what I have. My pecan pantry pecans. Now I'm telling you, y'all need to order you some of these. It is a company out of Mansfield, Louisiana. They are absolutely wonderful. They taste just as fresh as if you went out and picked a pecan up out of the yard and cracked it and ate it. They're delicious. The Pecan Pantry, I will have the link in my description box. And if you use the code ROSE5, you get 5% discount, free shipping in the United States. Okay.
They are premium pecans.
Premium pecans. They are. They're not your, like you get off the shelf in Walmart or a grocery store. They are really good. All right, today we're doing sweet and spicy pecans. Just a little snack. Roy and I wanted something quick. And we like to have things around just to nibble on sometimes that are low carb. So this is what I'm making today. We're doing, I've got some chili seasoning. Now I make my own chili seasoning. The recipe calls for chili powder, but this has cumin in it. It calls for cumin too. So I'm only using my seasoning because the seasoning already has cumin and chili powder in it. I will give you the original recipe in case you don't have my seasoning, but then I will give you the recipe that I'm using today. It calls for a little bit of cayenne pepper. That's where your spicy comes in. It's cinnamon. Now, this is something I'm adding to mine, Sweet Preacher. This is one of the best seasonings, and I just can taste it on these pecans. We have a 1/3 cup of stevia. The recipe calls for sucanat. Sucanat is kind of a cane sugar, but it's sugar. But I'm substituting my stevia. You can use monk fruit, allulose, swerve, erythritol, whatever sweetener. You can even use sugar or brown sugar. Brown sugar is what I would use if you're not watching your carbs.
And this qualifies as a keto dish too, doesn't it?
Yes, I think it would. Yeah. And we have 2 cups of our Pecan Pantry pecans. So I'm just going to set those right there. We have like half of a teaspoon of salt. We have 1 egg white in our bowl. And I'm going to beat this egg white until it's frothy.
But not stiff, right?
But not stiff, no. Just frothy. And I have my oven set on 350 degrees. Now this should go quickly, y'all. And Roy and I should have a little snack in like 20 or 25 minutes. Okay? You just take your whisk and just beat it till it's kind of frothy. This is where you get your exercise in here. Okay. That's it right there.
Is this baby bubble bath? Is that what it is? Sort of looks like.
All right. It calls for 1/3 cup of stevia. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And mix that around. And you can see it still keeps the frothiness. Okay, I'm going to beat it a little bit more.
The froth makes what everything makes. It makes everything stick.
It does.
Okay.
All right, 1 tablespoon of chili powder. but I'm putting 1 tablespoon of my chili seasoning. Now I have a video on my chili seasoning on my channel. All right, not 1 teaspoon, y'all. All right, it calls for 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, but I only put 1/8 of a teaspoon because I do not want to get it too hot. I can always add to it. And it also, a girl told me the other day, take your measuring spoon and your little plastic cover comes right off. I love that because sometimes my fingernail doesn't want to get it off, but the little measuring spoons will. All right, 1 teaspoon of, all right, that's 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now, I am going to start out with, I think, a teaspoon of my sweet preacher. All right. I don't want to add too much, but I do want it. The seasoning in that is so good. All right, I think I haven't put my salt. All right, calls for 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, that's 1/2 teaspoon. All right, now this is the way it should look right there. See that? I'm gonna taste of it. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm glad I didn't add but 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne, y'all. Ooh, that's good.
But for you hotheads, just put more.
Ooh, that sweet preacher. Ooh, how much do I put?
Watch it.
I just love this good.
Caution, girl.
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it just like that, y'all. Okay. Y'all, I kind of rearranged my kitchen a little bit this morning, and I put my utensils over on this side. They used to be in that corner, but since I do air fryer Friday, every Friday, I brought out my little
Bacon.
toaster oven looking air fryer. And I've also got my other air fryer, so I had to kind of rearrange my kitchen a little bit so I could fit them both in. I told Roy I need a kitchen twice as big as what I've got.
By the way, you look real pretty in that purple.
Thank you, baby.
That white collar goes with your gray hair. Beautifully.
Thank you.
Looking good.
All right. Now, this is the way. You just stir it up, stir all I think I could put a few more pecans in there. That was 2 cups, but I'm gonna put a few more because the recipe calls for 2 cups. I'm gonna put 2 cups in the recipe, but I don't know why. Maybe I beat my egg a little bit too much. I don't know. But anyway, 2 cups is what the recipe calls for. All right, now, if you don't have one of these little seal pats, it's just a little silicone mat, and I have several. I have some for my big pans. I have some for my little pans. Take parchment paper, spray your parchment paper with cooking spray. Put your pecans down.
Taste of one of those, honey.
Okay.
It should have the same flavor almost
It will.
as when it's cooked.
Oh my goodness. Y'all, this is gonna be so good. Ooh. This has just a little bit of heat to it. And then this cayenne pepper.
Has a
Those
little
are
bit of heat.
perfect. Oh my.
So it's got heat and a half.
Oh, they are so good though. And the sweet from the stevia. Oh my goodness. All right, now this is stevia. Some of y'all gonna ask me. Stevia with erythritol. I do have pure stevia that I use in some things, but when I do something like this, I use it with erythritol.
Well, you have to practice the amount of stevia to put in anything,
You do,
don't you?
yeah. I know how
If
much
it's
to
pure
put in
stevia.
like tea or a liquid or something like that. Or I know how much to sprinkle over fruit. But as far as baking with it, haven't learned that yet. I just haven't experimented enough. Okay. All right. This is going in a 350-degree oven.
Gracious, that looks good already.
Oh, honey, it's delicious. For, let me see, 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes. Then I'm going to stir it, put it back in for 5 minutes, stir it, put it back in for 5 minutes, and then I'll taste them. Now, this original recipe was for pumpkin seed. Instead of pecans, it was pumpkin seed. If you have pumpkin seed, use this exact same recipe, but use pumpkin seed. So, look at that. Okay. 5 minutes. I'm going to take it out, stir it, put it back in 5 minutes, take it out, stir it, put it back in 5 minutes, and we'll see if they're ready. Second time I've stirred them. I'm going to taste of them, and then I'm going to put them in for 5 more minutes.
Is that going to be good?
They need 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Now, if they're not crisp enough after 5 minutes, I'll turn my oven off and let them sit in there for like 10 minutes. So, but I'll let you know. So I'm going to put them back in for 5 more minutes.
Ooh, Grandmama, that looks like fun to me.
All right, come up close. I want them to hear this.
Okay.
Y'all listen. You hear that?
Yep.
That's how crispy and crunchy they are.
Oh, my.
Y'all, let me tell you something now. I've told y'all before, 2 of my little great-grands made me these, and I absolutely love them. I use them all the time. Thank you, Winnie and Addie. Okay, I'm going to give these a taste test for you. I cooked them 5 minutes, stirred them, 5 minutes, stirred them, 5 minutes, stirred them, and then I turned my oven off and left them in there 10 minutes. And they are perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, honey, come here. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna let Roy taste. We already been nibbling, so we know how they taste.
Well, that's the first whole one I got.
Don't forget about my Pecan Pantry pecans. Order you some. All right, I'm going to get a whole one too. They're still real hot. But this seasoning is perfect, y'all.
It's just zesty and little
crunchy.
sweetness, cinnamon.
A little cinnamon, a little spice, a little heat. Man.
Just a tiny bit of heat for what you put. You didn't put much in there.
Now, if you want more heat, add the 4th teaspoon of cayenne. I only added 1/8 of a teaspoon.
Wow.
Y'all.
Keto snack.
Yes, these are so good. I mean, so good. Make you some. Takes what, 20, 25 minutes? Maybe 30 minutes for the whole thing.
Now, don't eat them all at one time. You're supposed to eat them for several days.
You will want to eat more than just a few, but I'm telling you.
You might not want your partner to get a hold of these, let me tell you.
Now, remember, the original recipe was for pumpkin seed. I use pecans. I guess you could use peanuts if
I think you could use anything, depending. Just watch it in the oven.
Yeah. Yeah, you may have to adjust your, well, I don't know though.
Because freeze-dried peanuts are already
Dry roasted
are already,
so,
yeah,
but anyway,
already roasted.
okay. Make you a quick snack.
And while you're enjoying it, press subscribe and share.
Share, yes. This is a great recipe to share.
Everybody can enjoy this one.
It's quick, it's easy, it's delicious. You leave them on the counter. You just come by every once in a while and get you one.
Oh, this is not even necessarily for dieters. This is just good.
This is for anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Ooh, they're hot. Put deliciousness back in your healthy food. See y'all tomorrow.